The sun sets over a bustling city, casting long shadows across crowded streets. The atmosphere shifts subtly, an invisible weight settling over the place as the last rays of light fade. A faint breeze carries whispers of something ancient, something otherworldly. People hurry home, unaware of the unseen figure watching them from above. The angel of death waits, shrouded in an aura of inevitability. In a hospital ward, monitors beep rhythmically, keeping time with fragile lives tethered to machines. A child lies in bed, her breath shallow but steady. The room grows colder. She stirs, her eyelids fluttering open to reveal eyes that reflect both fear and acceptance. The presence draws nearer, invisible yet palpable, like a shadow that feels too close. A candle flickers in a small, dimly lit chapel nearby. The light struggles against the growing darkness, the wax melting away in uneven drips. The flame dances as if aware of an approaching force, its tiny movements frantic and defiant. The angel watches from the corner, unseen, as a grieving mother kneels in prayer. Her whispered words rise like fragile smoke, dissolving into the silence. Her tears fall, creating tiny dark spots on the stone floor. The angel moves closer, a silent observer of her despair. In a quiet suburban home, an elderly man sits in his armchair, holding a framed photograph. His weathered hands tremble as he brushes a thumb across the glass. The image captures a moment long past a younger man, a smiling woman, a world full of possibilities. The clock on the wall ticks louder in the stillness. The angel is there, perched just beyond the edge of his vision. The air grows heavy as the man closes his eyes, his final sigh mingling with the ticking clock. Across town, a car speeds recklessly down a darkened highway. The driver's face is pale, illuminated by the harsh glow of headlights. Her hands grip the wheel tightly, her knuckles white with tension. The rain begins to fall, blurring her vision and amplifying her fear. She doesn't see the figure standing in the road until it's too late. She slams the brakes, the tire screeching in protest. The angel watches impassively as the car skids, its path inevitable. The crash is sudden and violent, a symphony of shattered glass and twisted metal. Silence follows, heavy and unbroken. In a war-torn village far away, the sky is thick with smoke and ash. Explosions punctuate the air, each one a reminder of fragility and destruction. A soldier lies in a trench, clutching his side as blood pools beneath him. His breaths are ragged, his gaze unfocused. The angel kneels beside him, its presence a paradox of comfort and dread. The soldier's hand relaxes, his grip on his weapon loosening as his eyes close for the final time. The angel remains, bearing witness to the cessation of conflict within one's soul. In a lavish penthouse, a wealthy man clutches his chest, gasping for air. His opulent surroundings feel cold and empty as he collapses onto the marble floor. The angel appears, its shadow stretching across the room. The man's eyes widen in recognition, his struggles ceasing as the inevitability of the moment consumes him. The room grows still, the silence echoing louder than the ticking of the ornate clock on the mantel. A forest is quiet except for the rustling of leaves and the distant call of an owl. A lone hiker collapses on the trail, his breath stolen by an unseen force. The angel stands among the trees, its presence blending seamlessly with the natural world. The wind carries the scent of earth and decay as the forest reclaims its own. The hiker's body lies still, a testament to the unyielding passage of time. Back in the city, a crowded subway platform buzzes with life. Commuters shuffle, their faces lit by the harsh glow of their phones. A young man leans too far over the edge, his headphones drowning out the warning cries of those around him. The train approaches, its lights cutting through the gloom of the underground. The angel stands unseen, a silent witness to the moment when carelessness meets consequence. The screech of brakes fills the air, followed by a collective gasp from the crowd. The angel departs, its task complete. On a stormy sea, a fishing boat battles towering waves. The crew struggles against the wind and rain, their shouts lost to the tempest. A rogue wave rises, its crest illuminated by a flash of lightning. The angel stands at the helm, a silent observer of the ship's futile fight against nature. The wave crashes down, engulfing the vessel. The sea grows calm once more, the only trace of the boat a scattering of debris on the surface. In a quiet library, an old woman sits at a desk, surrounded by piles of books. Her pen moves steadily across a piece of parchment, her handwriting elegant and deliberate. The clock chimes softly in the background, marking the passing hours. The angel stands nearby, its gaze fixed on her. She finishes her sentence, sets the pen down, and closes her eyes. The ink dries as her stillness becomes permanent. A bustling marketplace is filled with vibrant colors and the hum of commerce. Vendors call out their wares, children weave through the crowd, and laughter fills the air. Amidst the chaos, a man clutches his chest and collapses. The angel steps forward, its presence unnoticed by the living. Time seems to slow as the man's breaths falter. The world continues around him, oblivious to the quiet departure of one of its own. In a desolate desert, a lone traveler collapses under the unforgiving sun. The angel stands over him, its shadow providing a brief respite from the heat. The traveler's eyes open briefly, meeting the gaze of the unseen figure. A moment of understanding passes between them before his eyes close for the last time. The desert wind erases his footprints, the sand shifting to conceal his presence. In a grand cathedral, a priest stands before his congregation, delivering a passionate sermon. His voice carries through the hallowed halls, echoing off stained glass and stone. Mid-sentence, he falters, clutching his chest. The angel is there, standing in the beams of light streaming through the windows. The priest collapses, his final words hanging in the air, like a prayer unanswered. The congregation whispers in shock and sorrow, their grief palpable. A solitary lighthouse stands against the fury of the sea, its beam cutting through the darkness. Inside, the keeper tends to the light, his hand steady, despite the storm raging outside. The angel waits in the corner, its presence blending with the shadows. The keeper's heart falters, his body sinking to the floor. The light continues to shine, a beacon in the night, as the angel departs. In a prison cell, an inmate sits alone, his head bowed in contemplation. The angel appears, its form barely distinguishable in the dim light. The inmate looks up, his expression one of resignation. The silence between them is heavy with unspoken truths. The angel reaches out, and the inmate's breathing slows. The cell grows colder as life slips away, leaving behind only stillness. A battlefield stretches out under a blood-red sky, the ground littered with the fallen. The angel moves among the bodies, a silent sentinel in the aftermath of chaos. It pauses beside a soldier who clings to life, his eyes wide with fear and pain. The angel's touch is gentle, a paradox of comfort in the face of finality. The soldier's expression softens, his grip on life loosening as he slips into the void. The angel continues its path, an unrelenting force in the theater of war. In a vibrant city park, children play and laughter fills the air. An elderly woman sits on a bench, watching the scene with a serene smile. The angel stands behind her, unnoticed by the living. The woman's head tilts forward, her smile frozen in place. A bird lands on the bench beside her, chirping obliviously. The angel lingers for a moment before fading into the background, leaving the park as lively as ever. A luxurious cruise ship glides through calm waters, its passengers enjoying the tranquility. In a grand dining hall, a man raises a glass in a toast. The angel stands at the edge of the room, its presence unacknowledged. The man's laughter turns to a cough, his hand gripping the edge of the table. The glass falls, shattering on the floor as he collapses. The music continues, masking the quiet exit of one among the crowd. In a remote cabin deep in the woods, a writer pores over their manuscript by candlelight. The angel stands in the corner, a silent companion in the creative process. The writer pauses, their pen hovering above the page. A sudden chill fills the room, the flame of the candle flickering. The writer's hand falls, the unfinished manuscript slipping from their grasp. The angel remains, a witness to the end of a story untold. A metropolis pulses with life, its skyscrapers towering above like sentinels. In a small apartment, a young artist adds the final stroke to a painting. The brush drops from her hand as her breath,